A little bit of a comment on that HBO Breath of Fire documentary. Personally, I found it exceedingly boring, trite, simplistic, surfaced, just me. There's a much deeper level that perhaps I'll try to express. When we first got into and met Yogi Ji, this is back in the late '60s. You know, that was a whole different state of consciousness. Every one of us were psychedelic warriors at that point who survived to get to the point where they could actually quiet themselves down in the midst of everything going on. Vietnam War, remember, we're all protesting, we're doing that whole thing. That's happening. The ones that were attracted to Yogi Bhajan, or he was able to attract, or whatever happened there, were some of the most solid, psychedelic, interesting people you would ever meet. Think of it. So we were aware of the cult-like possibilities of any formation. We're in San Francisco. This is the head of the counterculture, so to speak. Everything's happening around us. Integral yoga is happening. Kriyananda starting Grass Valley and Ananda there. So many different people were coming through, Swamis and things. Gaskin was doing his farm trip back east. That was going on. All of these different things were happening, and we were in the midst of trying to become, all right, what can work here? And we practiced this yoga under psychedelics, you understand, and we gave it that test. And you know what? It works. That's why we did it. Then we stopped all of that. We got into the yoga. That was the process, to find a place where we could actually embed and print this yoga in our lives, in every breath, and that was something that we could understand. And that's why I got into it. That's what was happening. Yogaji and others like him, you're going to meet along the spiritual path. These are the personality constructs that kind of, just stick out. And you're going to go, hey, how's it going? You're going to enjoy meeting them. They don't have to be manipulative, but of course they will be. Every system has its organizational, bureaucracy, needing money. That always happens, and it's just the nature of it. It's understandable even. It's kind of, you want to support stuff that you're into. Obviously, abuse. Yogis used to say, that power corrupts, and ultimate power corrupts ultimately, ever. You can't get away from it. The only way out of this has ever been is the Sangat. The perceptive reality of trust that you allow into your own collective conscious, subconscious mind. The people that you can trust as a mirror. Say, oh, okay. Without that, there's no way, there's no balance point, there's no reality point in any of this. It's just free-floating, Maya, illusionary world. How are you going to find a way to, where's the purchase, where do you find, where's the stability? And you have to create the stability. That's my whole rap again. Just create the stability within your own body, mind here. Use the yoga. It works. You don't have to bring Yogi Bhajan into this picture at all. You can just use the yoga. There's enough of it out there that it works. And you can modify it. Don't be afraid to modify this too. That's the whole, of course Yogi was modifying it. Obviously he was doing it. You'd have to be kind of really willfully blind not to see that. Of course he was having affairs with his secretary. You had to be willfully blind not to see that. It was obvious. We knew. And as soon as we kind of became really, that cognitive dissonance became so intense, we all stepped away. A lot before me. Because he seduced me by having me start work was starting with Gurcharn, the KRI. And I was enthralled with cataloging some of these things, the Kriyas, and practicing them. So we would go, Carol, we'd sit for hours and practice different Kriyas and meditate with it and really describe it, somewhat of a pseudo-scientific basis here. I enjoyed that. That was fun for a while. Then it got to be where I see Yogiji as just, it's the same old SOS, same old story, same old shit, Not that it's bad. It's just that you have to change the flavor. I get it. We came into an advertising situation then. Well, we have to get more. And that became apparent. And I'm not against that even. It's just that when you see again, Yogi doing his thing and the words meaning one thing and that, it just doesn't quite fit. So you gradually distance yourself. I appreciate the fact that Sikhism was, through Yogi allowed to happen. That made sense to me. And I was really, really thankful for that. And it works for me in my life. Not saying it'll work for anybody else, but this situation was exactly what was needed. Stabilize the outward manifestation of the inward yearning for me, my personality construct. Okay? So I just want to let you know that the yoga works, stuff that happens along the way in these organizations is going to happen. It's just I haven't seen any organization, any kind of, whether all levels are going to have this. You just have to be continually aware of it, right? That's our job here, is to become continually aware of it. These personality constructs are so easy to pop up. I could become one. You could become one. These are not that hard. Just Sangat, the balance point of reality that you see yourself in. Okay? I'll tell you more. I got some really funny stories, by the way.